Here with Inner Self Lightworks, and I am going to kickstart today. Today is our launch of a new series called Merlin Speaks. Now, to preface that, Merlin is one of my all-time, lifetime spirit guides. And he's been with me for a very long time. Since I was pretty young, crystal energy and crystals themselves, the gemstones themselves, spoke to me and would tell me what to use them for. And so I was eventually guided to study with a woman in Boulder who's an amazing teacher, and she is a practitioner under another amazing teacher named Melody, who's written a lot of crystal books that you guys have probably heard of before, and so I am I'm excited to launch this today. I think that that the best place to start for most people are crystals that are grounding for you. And so the crystals that came today, we've got 4 crystals here that have come out today that Merlin and I want to share with you. And the first one is Snowflake Obsidian. So I'll hold this up so you can see it and turn it in the light. This is actually one of 2 bookends that I have. And so I have books in here and then books on the other side and the other bookend. So it was cut from a slab of Snowflake Obsidian. And Snowflake Obsidian is black. It's very heavy. And it's got these volcanic ash inclusions in it. So it's an amazing stone for grounding. And what I love it for is the recognizing the patterns. So if you've got patterns, self-limiting beliefs or reactionary patterns or anything that is a pattern that you want to let go of, Snowflake Obsidian is awesome for that. So the patterns that it helps us release, it's also grounding. Any of the dark stones help us ground because they tap into our root chakra, which is at the base of our spine. It's our foundation energy center. And all of these dark stones that I'm going to show you today help with grounding. And why we need grounding is because in this crazy chaotic world that we're living in right now, grounding is super important for when we want to feel peace, feel calm, relax, let go, and just drop into our core energy, which then helps us think clearer and make better decisions, and just have calmer reactions or no emotional reaction necessarily that's, inflamed. Obviously, we always have emotional reactions to things, but it really calms the emotion. So all of these will do that. And this is Crystal Healing 101, all of the dark stones are good for that. Some of them are good for other things too, which I'll talk about in a second. But so that is Snowflake Obsidian. I'm going to show you another obsidian. So obsidian is in itself, in essence, volcanic ash. But when it has inclusions like that, it's got actually the flakes of ash that you can still see instead of just the petrified dark, lava or molten volcanic eruption. So this is called, it might be a little hard to see in the silver and the light, but it's called silver sheen obsidian. So on one side, it's got the sheen one way, and it's an obelisk. And at some point, I'll do a series on shapes as well of crystals. But and the other side, it's got this silver sheen. So there's silver sheen and gold sheen obsidian. And that inclusion is, there are other crystals in there. So that's either mica, sometimes it is flakes of silver, or some other property that makes it have that shine to it. Now, since this is obsidian, it's going to do the same things that the other one, the other obsidian that I talked about. It's going to be grounding, it's going to be clearing, it's going to be protecting, and it's going to be calming. But obsidian in general is for clarity, for healing, for releasing of disease. And then silver sheen is for gazing. So for gazing, I have a large ball as well of silver sheen obsidian. It's for gazing into your future, for dreaming bigger, for receiving information from your higher realm and your spirit guides, for getting to the root of the problem, and really for an actualization or an initiation, if you will, into your awakening. So I've had this one for a very long time. It's got a chip on the top of the obelisk, so I actually got it for a really good price because of that chip. Doesn't make it any less powerful. But again, I'll talk about shapes at another date. So why that's an obelisk is important as well. Our next crystal is hematite. And hematite has an almost a mercurial color to it, a silver color to it. And this side is polished and the rest of it is not, so you can see it kind of in its natural state. But I love it because it's a stone that I've had around my house for a long time. We put it in all four corners of the house, along with the next crystal that I'm going to share with you, and then clear quartz. So a cluster of 3 crystals in the 4 corners of the house help protect the house and help clear the house and balance the house as well. And so the other things that hematite is good for is that it's very calming as well. Like I said, it's grounding. So it's going to be another one of those stones that's calming and dispelling negative energy from the body. So all of these stones are going to do that as well. They're going to help rid out disease, or which is stored energy anyway, right? So it's going to help us dissolve that negativity and transform that negativity. And then it's also good for facilitating peace. So grounding brings that peace as well. And self-control as well. So this one's really good for, also it kind of taps into the heart and controlling the runaway emotions, if you will, or if we're craving anything, or we just have energy that goes up and down, and so this kind of flatlines that in a good way. It's very tranquil, so it helps to bring that that calming peace, and it's also good for clarity. So that is hematite, and then our last one, it's one of my faves, and this is black tourmaline. Tourmaline in general is quite expensive, but black tourmaline is not. It's not a gemmy quality. It's not something that you can, so for instance, this blue here is aquamarine, which is in the tourmaline family. It's very gemmy. It's very beautiful to make jewelry out of. This is very crumbly. It doesn't make great jewelry, so therefore it doesn't have a lot of that purpose to it, but it's a powerful stone. If you can get a big chunk of it like this, and sleep with it. It's got some mica on it, which is awesome, some quartz on it as well, which you can see a lot of the time tourmaline, black tourmaline is included in quartz. So it's an inclusion. So the quartz forms around, like this one was, probably a big vein of it. And so black tourmaline, there's all different colors. There's green and blue, rainbow, watermelon, lots of different colors of tourmaline. But this is just black tourmaline, okay? So black tourmaline, again, is good for grounding. It's good for clearing. It's good for clearing negativity and balancing, and then protection. So it's something that you could put in your car and drive around with because it's protecting. And then it's also a good, as I said before, a first chakra energy sort of deflector. So those are our 4 crystals for today. Thanks for joining us. This is our first in hopefully a long series titled Merlin Speaks, where we bring in the knowledge of Merlin, the great alchemist, if you will, and teacher, longtime teacher of mine, and many people, obviously, around the planet. We can talk about herbs in this series. We can talk about the equinoxes and the energy around the equinoxes and those old druid holidays, if you will, that we've all taken kind of our holidays from. And of course, crystals. So number 1 will be crystals in this class, because that's definitely the biggest thing that, or in this course, I should say, that's the biggest thing that Merlin has been speaking to me about over the last 20 years. So love to you all. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Thanks for watching.